and welcome to the Imperial Symphony's Orchestra 101. My name is Dr. Kim and I am the concertmaster of the ISO. That means that I'm sitting right next to the conductor and help him lead the orchestra while I'm playing my violin. My friends in the orchestra have helped me create some videos that introduce the different sections or families of the orchestra and instruments that are part of each family. In this video, I would like to introduce you to the brass section. To begin, let's learn about the French horn.
Hi and welcome. My name is Mr. Morrison and I'm here today to talk to you about the French horn. So the French horn is actually a member of the brass family, much like the trumpet, the trombone, and the tuba. And just like any other member of the brass family, these instruments are made out of what's called brass. And they also contain other metals, like for instance, mine contains nickel, but the majority of it is made out of that brass metal. So let's get to how to make a sound on the instrument. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do what's called buzzing, which is where we pass large quantities of air through our slightly puckered lips and makes a sound like this. Now we use that buzz into what's called our mouthpiece to create a sound like this. And what that does is it passes all that air and that sound through all the piping in this horn and amplifies it out the bell. So let's get an example of what the French horn sounds like. Did you recognize that tune? Exactly, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, a classic. And though you can find horn mostly in classical symphonies and orchestras, a lot of other instances where you can find it are even in classical music, pop music. Groups such as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, even Lady Gaga has used French horn in some of her music. I've been playing the French horn since 6th grade. Back then, I had no idea what the French horn was. I just thought it sounded the coolest, and so I picked it. And 15 years later, here I am, a professional French horn player. And what that means to be a professional musician is like what it means to be a professional athlete. I practice every day to harness my craft and make the best out of it that I can anytime that I perform. Can you imagine playing the French horn? Let's try and play that Row, Row, Row Your Boat excerpt together, and you can play it on your air French horn. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. Now let's go hear about the next brass instrument, the trumpet.
Hi everyone, my name's Mr. Moore and I'm here to tell you about the trumpet. The trumpet is a member of the brass family. It's made out of brass, and to play it, you put air through the mouthpiece, which then travels into the lead pipe, through the tuning slide, and into the valves, which when you press these buttons down, allows you to change the notes. The air then leaves the valves and exits the horn through the bell, which allows you to play really loud. Here's what it sounds like. Did you recognize that song? You're right, it's Row, Row Your Boat. Now, the trumpet can also be heard in many other types of genres as well, including jazz, blues, pop, and really anything that you can think of. Now, while the trumpet is a member of the brass family, it also has a bunch of brothers and sisters in its own immediate family, like you can see behind me. These include horns like the piccolo, the flugelhorn, and trumpets in other keys like C, E flat, D, F, G. The list goes on and on. In fact, here's what those different horns sound like. pretty cool, right? You know, I started playing the trumpet way back, almost 20 years ago when I was in 3rd grade. But by practicing really hard every day, I can now say that I'm a professional trumpet player, which means that I get to make wonderful music with the symphony for you guys to enjoy. Can you imagine yourself playing the trumpet? Tell you what, why don't you pick up your air horns right now and play along with me? Do you remember Row, Row Your Boat? Here we go. 1, 2, ready? Great job, guys. Really well done. Now, stay tuned to learn about the trombone.
My name is Miss Bowden, and I'd like to tell you a thing or two about the trombone. This is what the trombone looks like. It has a mouthpiece, and it has a slide. To make a sound on the trombone, all you have to do is buzz your lips like this into the mouthpiece, and it'll make a sound like this. Now you notice there are no valves or buttons or keys to push down on the trombone. So that means in order to change the notes, you actually have to move the slide up and down. Like that. Here's a little song I'm going to play for you. You might have heard this song before. Have you heard that before? That's right, it's Row Your Boat. Not only can the trombone play classical music, but it's also a very important member of the jazz bands. I started playing trombone when I was in 6th grade, so when I was 11 years old, which means I've been playing for 18 years now. I was really interested with the slide here, so that's why I chose to play the trombone. And now I am a professional trombone player, which means I play in orchestras for my job. So just like sports, you do have to practice every single day in order to stay in tip-top shape. Because if you don't practice, you can actually get out of shape on instruments too. So it's very important that we practice every day. Now, I want you to pretend like you are a trombone player. So get your slide arm ready, and we're going to play Row, Row Your Boat again, but you're going to play with me on your air trombone. Here we go. Are you ready? 1, 2, ready? You did a great job. I think you would make a fantastic trombone player. Now don't go anywhere because Dr. Alvarez is going to talk to you all about the tuba.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Alvarez, and I'd like to tell you about the tuba. The tuba is part of the brass instrument family and are made of metal called brass, and this one is covered in a shiny silver. As you can see, there are many tubes that bend and coil all the way to the big bell at the top. To make a sound on the tuba, you need to use lots of air and buzz your lips like this. When you do that on the mouthpiece, it sounds like this. Then finally, when you put the mouthpiece in the horn, it sounds like this. To make different sounds, you need to press these buttons called valves. Tubas, along with the bass of the string section, plays the lowest notes in the orchestra, and sometimes we get to play beautiful melodies. Can you recognize this one? You're right if you guessed Row Your Boat. I started playing the tuba when I was in the 6th grade. My band director at the time said, I have the lips for the tuba, so I went ahead and chose it. I've been playing the tuba for 23 years, and now I'm a professional, which really just means it's my job to play the tuba in the symphony. I practice the tuba every day to keep my skills nice and sharp, just like professional athletes do. Can you imagine playing the tuba yourself? I want you to pretend you are hugging a big tuba in front of you. Make sure to hold it tight. Remember, row your boat? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Now, let's listen to all the instruments of the brass section play together.